bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop. By the time she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white. My oxygen levels had dropped, and I almost fainted.
I've talked about the negatives and promotions of bad behavior regarding the fat acceptance movement before on this channel, but now let's talk about one of the most entitled and inept members who are promoting the fat acceptance movement. I recently came across this video. A TikTok video of this oversized woman complaining about having to perform the basic human action of transporting herself up an airplane's aisle, claiming that she became out of breath and her lips turned white before she sat down in her seat. If she looks familiar, then you'd be right. She's the same person who has called out the FAA for not providing a free extra seat for overweight passengers like herself. Normally I'd handle this situation with kid gloves, but right now I honestly feel that the truth is better than a less truthful, sugar-coated lie. So bear with me when I say that the truth does in fact hurt. It's something you don't want to hear, but it's also something that you need to hear in order for you to fix some things and learn about yourself a little bit. The fat acceptance TikToker in the video is called J-Bay. And I see her as someone who promotes self-harm. That's what I'm seeing this as. She can't take responsibility for herself or even remotely try to accept that she's the one causing the problems. If your food addiction is so bad that it's causing health issues for yourself to the point where even walking a short distance causes you to become out of breath, it's time you seek some professional help. And that's coming from someone who, and a lot of people, don't want to see a human being destroy themselves under their own addiction. Unless you were born into obesity and have some underlying or undiagnosed illness or defect that causes you to gain a severe amount of weight, you have no excuses for your own stupidity and how you've gotten to this size without looking in a mirror and saying, wait a minute, this is actually bad that I'm getting like this. You know, maybe you should actually try and stop yourself before it gets any worse. Because nobody wants to see you succumb to this at all. Nobody. But it's not only her herself, that gives this more traction. When she complains, people pass it around like crazy, giving it way too much publicity, making these people kind of enablers, enabling the bad behavior, making it worse than ever. And she encourages people like herself to divulge into her addictions until it brings them underground. Literally, there's no polite way to put this. People die from obesity, breathing troubles, trouble with mobility, heart problems, diabetes, high cholesterol. These are all things that contribute to the factor of dying from obesity. I honestly don't know why more people don't see this, but her TikTok videos can be classified as a promotion for self-harm and enabling bad behavior. It honestly should be removed. I also want to point out the entitlement of this as well, because she always requests wheelchair assistance for airline travel when she doesn't need it. And she is able to move on her own power. She's just too lazy and doesn't want to do so. And by doing this, it shows little to no respect to people who are actually disabled and can't move due to their physical limitations, but bow down to the one who feels entitled enough to take control of an opportunity to be lazy and extort those that refuse to give in to her as hate crime enablers. The sheer audacity and nerve of her to push this nonsense is unbelievable. And the worst part of it is how many people are just going along with her jargon and giving it more attention as if it's a serious real-world issue that we should be catering to. I miss the days when this kind of stuff was usually ignored and no one cared, but now all of a sudden this is being promoted like it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's gotta stop. Stop promoting people with terrible addictions. Terrible addictions count as an act of self-harm. So, in other words, you're promoting self-harm. Knock it the fuck off.